welcome to the podcast. Now, I feel like I need to preface this by saying that there's a whole thing out there that you missed that you could see if you wanted to. If you went to our Facebook page right now, you would get the Riot uncut.
Extra.
There's like 8 minutes of extra time there. 5 minutes? I don't know. Something.
You get in this podcast, a Riot Food Fight. We try the spicy Tabasco chocolate, the dark chocolate wedges that have Tabasco stuff in them. That Charles, one of our wonderful listeners in Alabama, sent to us for a Riot Food Fight. But we did a Riot Live event before we did our food fight, you get some extra bonus content if you want to watch that.
Okay. So, and I can't imagine anyone that wouldn't want...
I don't want to spoil it, but yes, there's some stuff there.
Okay, so there's that. Also in the podcast, peppermint chapstick, caroling, taking a ride on the Santa train, dating a robot, eating leftovers, Obadiah needs a hobby, the 10 worst movies of the year.
There's a lot.
Seems like that'll keep you busy for at least a little while.
It's good.
I'll tell you, Nikki's Santa train discussion, one of the longest discussions we've had in a long time.
Is it? And there's more that I didn't include because I don't want to be so rude. I very try to be aware that I don't want to, be too much, but there was a lot of layers to how bad this train was. I didn't share all of it, but it'll be video off air so you can see every part that I was talking about.
Video exists. It exists.
So thank you so much for listening and joining. Don't forget you can always join us and subscribe at Radio U Riot. That is our Facebook page and our YouTube channel too.
Also, you could, and I don't want to tell you what to do, but I'm going to tell you what to do. If you listen to the actual radio station this week, radiou.com or on the app or FM, depending on where you're at, we have a stocking stuffer week happening. So lots of chances for you to win some free stuff. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is if you listen.
So make sure you listen to win and get more details.
All right.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
My favorite part of the worst of the riot, when they shut up and the music starts. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Nikki, if you had to tell me, like I took you in a room and you were in charge of something or maybe you're taking a test. I don't know. You're in a room.
Yeah.
Somebody comes in, asks a question, and they say, Nikki, tell us what is the purpose of chapstick?
Chapstick?
And you had to answer that question. What would you say?
I would think it would be to heal your lips.
Okay. All right.
If you're talking about chapstick.
Now, is the purpose of chapstick to burn your lips? To make you scream in agony?
Probably not. I feel like I want to say you're not using it right at that point, but I don't know how you could get that wrong.
There's like a slight candy taste in the middle of the burning.
Now, that could be true.
Yeah? Okay.
Are you experiencing such pain?
Well, I want to introduce you to the dumbest $1.07 I feel like I've ever spent, and that is the chapstick candy cane.
Oh, no, that stuff is great. I have that stuff. It is a burning sensation, but that's like the holidays. It's fine. It's a peppermint feeling.
I bought this chapstick because my lips were cracked and burning.
Yeah.
When I put this chapstick on, I'm like,
It's the peppermint tingling. It's the candy cane
flavor. That is not a tingle.
It is.
It's not a tingle.
Well,
it
maybe
is a
your lips
straight up.
were very sensitive.
Yeah. Here's the sad part is I bought this and some Blistex because Blistex has medication in it.
Sure.
That's what it says right there. It's medicated.
The Blistex just the normal, not like a
no
holiday
flavor. That's right. Now, here's the thing about the old candy cane chapstick is I had this sitting. I tried this because I was very curious because I love peppermint. And after it burned my upper lip completely off, I decided that I wanted to, maintain my lower lip for the rest of my life because it's the only lip I had left. And in my drunken toddler darkness this morning as I was reaching for, instead of throwing this candy cane away, I had set it next to the Blistex, and I thought I had grabbed the Blistex. And on my way in, I've been trying, I don't want this, but I have to have some chapstick. So I reach down, I find out I brought the candy cane stuff, and you have to choose. Do you want the sensation of burning and pain, but maybe not chapped, or this?
Or that which you've had?
this is a terrible thing.
I think it's fine, but it is a statement when you go with it's candy cane or peppermint.
It's candy cane.
Candy cane chapstick thing. It's been out for like a year or two, but it's a holiday, I think. But it's a statement when you go with it because it is noticeable that you have something on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Can you see it?
The smell. No, it's mostly the smell, like people around you.
Oh, and I'll tell you, ladies, if anybody wants a kiss, I taste like a candy cane.
A painful one, but he's still...
I only have one lip to kiss because the top one has disintegrated thanks to the candy cane oils.
Probably feels worse in your mind than it really is.
You know, that could be, but I don't think so. I'm pretty sure that it's the worst.
All right, so you need more than that.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, is chapstick is a scam. Let me turn into your weird uncle for a second here and tell you that...
What did we never land on chapstick? It was all a lie. It was some TV studio years ago.
Just something that they're trying to introduce. No, what you want to do with chapstick is you want to use as little as possible. Because what you want is you want to use the chapstick for your lips to heal so you can get rid of the chapstick. But I feel like when you flavor it like a candy cane, people are like, put it on more, lick it, get it everywhere. When the goal is to not
a subtle
put
amount,
it on.
Sure.
Like the goal of chapstick is to not need chapstick. But I feel like they are burning my lips off and trying to get me to be like, nah, bro, just keep putting it on.
You need more.
You need more. And you know, why are you only putting on a little? You should spread it everywhere. Your whole body.
Okay, now we're weird.
When life is this good, you don't need a vacation. So get back to work. It's The Riot on Radio U.
Nikki, do you want to talk about robots or why I needed the chapstick?
Let's do why you needed chapstick.
Okay. The reason I needed chapstick was because I was outside for like 4 hours yesterday. Might have been more like 3. I don't know. I can't count. So yesterday I went caroling.
You did.
I did. Now, I got to tell you.
Pray tell what for.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I feel like I learned something yesterday. And one of the things we learn is that sometimes it's good to have other people in our lives, because I was playing Destiny 2 on my couch yesterday when someone was like, hey, do you want to go caroling? And my thought was, no, I don't.
Is that some new DLC? Is that some downloadable content for my new game? Is that it?
Is it we put our Xbox mics on and we all sing together?
Is that code for something?
Is that what that means? Oh, well, yeah. Like, do you want to go caroling? Is that a euphemism?
It's like you try to look it up. You're like, yeah, totally. Let me go see what that is.
They can't mean singing outside.
Are you allowed to do that in your neighborhood?
Did you get a permit for that?
Well, I would think you would need to be.
No, it was allowed, and I went with this group, and we went caroling, and I was pressured into it.
Oh, it must have been great for your cough.
Right, yeah, that too.
to be outside.
But
see.
Okay, I'm fine.
You're totally fine.
But I will tell you, I would have never chosen it. First off, I would have never thought, hey, let's go caroling. Then presented with the opportunity to go caroling, I would have never said, ooh, I want to do that. Okay?
We tend to have a bad attitude about things that are outside.
But you know what?
Did you have a good time?
It was fun.
Good.
I did have a good time.
And how long did you go caroling for?
I think we were really outside for a total of maybe about
singing
an hour,
time.
hour and
singing
a half.
time.
About an hour and a half.
Hour and a half?
Yeah. Hey, I'll tell you something else that you learn. You learn that it's good to have people in your life to suggest things you wouldn't normally do. I learned that. Here's the other thing I learned. I don't know all the words to a lot of Christmas songs.
Had to slide it through.
There's like just a couple of words that I'm off. You know, it's just one or two. And I grew up listening to a Christmas parody album where they...
So you weren't also just off, but you had like some really wrong ones.
I realized, I'm like, that's not it. That's not the one. And they were passing out these sheets like, here, sing with these. And I'm thinking, I don't need someone to tell me the words to Christmas carols. Hey, do you have one? One more?
Because they need it.
Do you have one left? Because I need that. Yeah, so I went Christmas caroling yesterday. It was actually really cool. They did, like, they handed out gift bags and stuff to kids. Like, it was a genuinely good time. There was a part of me that was just like, what is this feeling?
That's the Christmas spirit.
Is this the Christmas spirit? I don't.
That's nice to do.
I'm not familiar with this.
And now you need chapstick because your lips are chapped.
Yeah, no.
Because you were outside.
Yeah, I got my chapstick. That's why I had to have it. But it's
well, you had a fulfilling day yesterday, didn't you?
It was good.
Good.
It was good. And okay, I got to tell you, Nikki, this one lady, we go to her house, she opened her door. She must have been running a Chinese restaurant in there, or she got killer takeout, because when she opened the door, I was like, I'm coming in.
It smells so good.
It smells like HC Way in there. Can I come in? What do you have?
I've been out here for 1 hour, and I'm so hungry.
I have walked at least, I don't know, a tenth of a mile. I've been outside for 15 minutes.
It's like, you don't know how to make this food here, do you?
Could I please have just a couple bites of General Tso's chicken? Just a couple of bites.
Do you have an egg roll I can take with me?
Can I have maybe some rice,
Well,
too?
mark that house down, because that's your new friend.
We got done. I was like, man, I want Chinese food so bad. And the funny thing was that desire for Chinese food, it followed me through the entire singing event. I was just like, I want Chinese food. I want Chinese food. Chinese food.
You must have had a great time yesterday.
I'm a little pathetic, but you know what? It's cool. I'm at peace with that.
That goat farm is looking more and more likely every day. It's the worst of the riot.
Let's talk about disappointment. Let's talk about your dating life. You're disappointed, huh? People have disappointed you over and over again. That's why you need to start dating a robot.
Robot?
You should date a robot. You should
Can
totally do that.
the robot hurt your feelings?
No, it wouldn't want to. It's programmed not to. Asimov's laws of robotics, they can't, by action or omission of action, cause harm to a human. Therefore, if saying that, your butt looks big would hurt your feelings, they can't say that.
They can't do that to you.
They shut down. But then the problem is like, do I look fat in this? And the robot just shuts down and you're like, oh, crap.
I know what it was going to say, but it's a robot. This
is the 12th one that's burned up. I got to stop asking this question. Dang it. So they talked to 18 to 34-year-olds, 12,000 of them, and they said, hey, you know what? Would you date a robot? Here's what they found out. They said that, was it 1 in 4 people were up for dating a robot? Men were more likely than women to be okay with dating a robot.
Sure.
So, ladies, I hope you feel good about that.
I think it's fair to ask around the holidays, though, because that's when if you're not with someone, that's when you might really want to be someone. So you're like, yeah, sure, anything.
Man, I'll tell you right now, you show up at Christmas dinner with a robot that you're dating.
Your family will never bother you again.
You think your racist uncle said mean things because it was somebody that did not exactly match your skin tone? Wait till you show up with a robot. Now forget it. He'd be okay with that. Like, now you've finally done something. Bring a robot home.
No one will probably want to be so uncomfortable to say anything. It'd probably just be like, okay, well, someone's at least come home.
Well, what kind of small talk do you have to make with the robot your sister's dating? Like, what do you have to say to it?
I don't know.
You're like, so,
not does this make my butt look big, because apparently it'll shut down.
What do you think about net neutrality? Where are you at on that? I mean, do you feel like it's right that they have to pay?
If you stick with that and Netflix talk, you're fine.
So, like, how many do you just binge one at a time, or how many things can you watch at a time? He says he can watch 3 things at a time.
Your family might actually like the robot.
They might. Like, all right.
Oh, that'd be terrible, too. They're like, you know what? This is the best out of all your boyfriends or girlfriends.
Oh, then we start to find out. At the end of the day, the sad part is we decide that we like machines better than people. And we
feel more comfortable.
Mm-hmm. So out of this survey, 27% said that they would form a relationship with a robot. This was men were 3 times more likely than women to be open to that. Men are more likely than women to prefer their social media lives to their real ones. 70% said that smartphones are weakening human bonds.
Now we're getting into the normal stuff they always say.
42% said that they feel depressed or unhappy after seeing other people's lives online. Well, yeah, because everyone else is living a better life than me.
I watched last week on Twitter, there was an article about this lady. I think she's somewhere in the UK. She was engaged to a chandelier, and she was seeing another chandelier.
I saw that.
So there's levels here. Like, I think I'd pick a robot.
Over a chandelier?
Over a chandelier.
I agree with that.
So, like, I don't know what to say.
I would definitely date a robot over a chandelier.
I would too, because it's just, I don't know.
So it's a sliding scale.
There is. And there's actually a line I feel like we would eventually draw.
Here's a real question. Would you rather spend your life dating a robot or spend your life pining for a girl you met wearing a red dress in some cafe somewhere that your whole freaking life you never go back and talk to her, and then weirdly enough she's there as you're dying?
These are two very important questions.
Which one would you pick? I'll tell you which one makes a better song.
Sure, the Riot could start eating healthy, or they could continue living happy, enjoyable lives. The Riot on Radio U.
Nikki, I was reading this weekend about someone that shares my former affliction that I feel like maybe in the new year, as I'm making resolutions, I should go and visit them, and I could be the strong person for them.
Yeah.
I could be there reminding them and helping them day to day. Now, it might end up that I'm going to have to quit this job, but I feel like...
But if you're helping someone, what can I say?
Isn't it worth it? Is it worth it?
Maybe.
All right. Well, here's
How are
the
you
deal.
helping somebody?
I'm going to have to move into the White House.
Oh, okay.
All right, because according to Trump insiders, he's got a real Diet Coke problem.
Does he? And you know about that.
Yep.
Obi totally understands that.
They say that Donald Trump is drinking like 12 Diet Cokes a day. They're like
12 cans? Or
12 cans of Diet Coke. Like he's always like there drinking Diet Coke, drinking Diet Coke, drinking Diet Coke. And, I just want to say, first off, I do know what that's like. I know what it's like to feel like you always need to have a Diet Coke right there by you.
And if you think about the sizes of the drinks that we had when consuming Diet Coke,
yeah.
Like, that was quite a few cans in one
Many
sitting.
cans.
So we can't fault him when you're like 12. You're like, oh, that's actually not that bad.
Well, a 44-ounce Diet Coke, that's almost 4 cans right there.
So have a couple of those, and that is a lot, though.
So he's throwing back 12 cans a day. That's what, staffers are reporting. Like, yeah, you got a problem. 12 cans a day.
Well, he doesn't drink, I don't believe. And does he drink coffee or something?
Apparently
so if not, there's probably not time if you're drinking all that Diet Coke.
Yeah. The other thing that I find hard to believe is that they are saying that he drinks Diet Coke and watches more than 8 hours of TV a day.
Like news and stuff, they said?
Okay. I mean, just like real
people
talk.
During the daytime?
Who's got time for that? What is he like taking meetings, watching CNN?
Well, isn't he someone who doesn't sleep a lot? Did they also say that? Or,
Does he
certain
have that?
people, go-getters, something like that.
Yeah.
Where they're like, yeah, we only live on 3 hours of sleep at night, which is why they've managed to make so much money.
Well, with that much Diet Coke, I can help the president get more sleep.
You just have to stop having Diet Coke.
I really can't help him with that. So they say that means that President Trump is getting about 504 milligrams of caffeine each day. So...
And 1 cup of coffee.
maybe. I'll have to say, if you got a Diet Coke problem or, a soda problem in general, it's not going to be an easy journey, but there is a better life on the other side of it.
Obi can attest to that since he's given up the mass quantities of soda that he used to consume.
It's the same life, but let me put it to you this way. By now, I would have had at least 8 ounces of coffee and probably... anywhere from 20 to 24 ounces of Diet Coke. And today I've had a sip of coffee. I'm more awake now than I would have been with all of that soda in my life. And the other thing is, it doesn't mean you don't get tired, but it's weird how in the afternoon I'm not like, I'm dying right now.
Like, you're still tired, but you're not dying tired.
Yeah. So it's been worth it. Mr. President, I can help you.
Seems like you can become a coach.
I can help you, Mr. President. I'm going to need to stay in the White House, though, and I'm going to need a very large budget.
Imagine a world where the Riot never talks and it's glorious Radio U music for hours on end. Now, imagine the opposite of that. You're already there. It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
Let's talk about somebody who's disappointed right now, Urumqi Airlines. Let's back up just a little bit, Nikki. What's your stance on eating food from someone else's plate?
You're not really supposed to do that unless it's a friend or family member and you're okay with it.
Okay, so let's say your friend or family member, they get done eating and they're like, oh, I'm full.
You're like, oh, but wait a minute, that still looks great. You're like,
Shove that
I'll
ahead.
take it because you don't want to waste food.
All right, okay, now you're at a restaurant, whatever. Let's say you're at your house.
Yeah.
Okay, you're at home and you're taking the food into the kitchen where it's going to be scraped into the trash or the garbage disposal or maybe into, a leftovers container, whatever. And you're just like, oh, I wanted to get a bite of that. And right before, you brush it into the trash, you take a couple bites. Yeah?
But, was it your food? Is it your home?
No, it's somebody else's.
But it's still someone you know?
Okay, sure.
Maybe. It depends on the situation. I wouldn't know for sure unless I was there in the moment.
Okay, now, just to be clear, that finds itself into the trash. You're not reaching into the trash.
That is gone.
That's adjacent to refuse refuse.
Actually, if it gets to a certain point in the kitchen, then it's gone. Like if it's going like, oh, this is the pile that goes in the trash or the recycle, to later, then it's gone.
I do feel like it's a very, very fine, sometimes undiscernible line when it's like, well, this food is now trash and now it's edible. If you think about it, where's most of your food come from? The dirt.
But once it's in the trash can, that is it.
That's the last step.
Yes, that's the last final goodbye.
You're finally done with them. Okay, all right. So at least we've got some boundaries established here. Back to Kwai Air. They have just suspended somebody. That's somewhere in China, which means I'm undoubtedly pronouncing that incorrectly. Someone had posted a video. The flight attendant had cleared the food from first class, and it looks like they just didn't even eat it. And so she was eating it.
From the passenger?
Uh-huh.
Good.
So,
okay. That could be worse. I thought maybe you were saying they were serving trash food.
Yeah. No.
Because sometimes, depending on where your seat's located in the plane, you'd be thankful even for that.
Yeah. Well, if you take
to get something.
I want you to take a look at the link I just sent you, though, because they're saying like, well, this is food that was leftovers and she's not following procedure. She's supposed to just throw it away.
It doesn't even seem like anybody's eaten anything.
Seems to me like maybe that's what they're saying, but in reality, she was eating it before she served it.
That's
what it really looks like.
100% what I think so. It really does look like that.
Yeah. Now, there's our next question. How angry are you when you find out that your flight attendant has taken a bite out of your lunch before they served it to you?
Now, here it says that the food was all leftovers from a flight, and it doesn't necessarily seem like, well, that could have been first-class food, but that's just the meals that people did not choose from the flight. So I actually do think that is leftovers.
So what do you...
You should I think there's no problem eating that.
Just eat it.
Yeah.
Like, what do you guys care? It's better than throwing it away, right?
Yes, you could eat this and be fine.
They don't feel that way, but...
Only because it got posted. That might have been, okay until then.
It would be like this. Like, you're at McDonald's and, there's a bunch of fries left over at night. Don't they send you home with the fries?
That's the same thing.
I'd eat those fries. Right now, I'd eat just about anything, but... That's
even airline food.
Not related.
The Riot is an award-winning morning show.
It's literally a medal for sucking. Now that is a medal for trying.
Okay.
Radio U.
So on the phone right now, Kelly. Hi, Kelly.
Good morning, Kelly. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Very good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hey, so aside from this Mike Main stuff you're getting in your stocking stuffer, what do you want for Christmas?
I asked for a bunch of art supplies.
Okay, right on. That's great.
That's it.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, I hope you get all the art supplies you want for Christmas.
Thank you.
All right. Have a great morning.
Thanks, Santa Obi.
Hey, real talk. Hey, you know what? If you want something for Christmas, I hope you get it.
Yes, we do.
Something reasonable. Like okay, she said she wanted art supplies. I'm telling you, Nikki, I need a hobby. Eric's doing woodworking. Kelly's doing art.
You mean something outside of a digital sort of world?
I need a hobby. I need to do something. I was talking to somebody the other day. They're like, they are a craft brewer. I don't want to be a craft brewer, but I was just like...
Your friend was a coffee roaster?
He doesn't even like it. He just likes making it.
He just likes making it?
Then, I got a friend, roasts coffee. He's turned that into a business, but that was a thing.
Is there something else you have that is, okay, now let's go through the list. You have so many talents. Let's just look and put them together.
Right. Help me.
You are a gifted speaker.
Okay.
Just gifted. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how to turn that into a hobby, but there's something there.
I got nothing.
Then what else is there?
There it is. I know. But see, most people... a gifted coffer. I can do that.
I don't know if you can turn that into something.
Most people have like this other thing that they do.
Yeah.
So like they've got their job and like all this other stuff, and then they do this other thing that a lot of people will be like, what? Are you serious? Like I've got a friend who's a beekeeper. I'm like, wow, that's cool. You keep bees. Yep, that's the thing I want to do. It's interesting. It's different. Mm-hmm.
Don't you have anything you like outside of, the stuff you do?
Well, I like to play video games. Which is not a constraint. I know. So the only thing I've thought is like maybe the only way I'm going to find a hobby is if I tell myself I'm not allowed to play games. Like maybe if I completely remove that from my life, then this urge for hobby will begin to present itself.
See, I don't think so because first off, that's also for work. You do enjoy that, and you've got to have time for gameplay.
You gotta have some fun, right?
Yeah, you gotta have some
fun. But see,
fun.
they have fun doing that thing. Like that other thing that they like to do. I like to skateboard. I like to play basketball.
You used to like to run? That was kind of like a hobby.
No, I never liked it. I just did it.
It could fall under the category.
Yeah, that's true.
Or weight training.
I do like that. That's a couple times a week, I guess. But like, I don't know. I just feel like I need some cool thing. But like, I'm not.
Josh had a good one. You like to build computers. That's an expensive hobby, though.
Yeah, no, I do love that.
That doesn't fall under the hobby category. That's like when the budget allows.
Oh, yeah. That's
a necessity then.
The other thing I was thinking is that I've always wanted to be a pilot, but I literally can't afford it.
You can't do like Groupon lessons or something?
No,
Those are always around.
I know I can't afford to be a pilot. So that's out.
You can't afford not to be.
I can.
Can you change
right
your
now,
attitude?
Right now, I'm affording not to.
Please?
Be. Yeah. Okay. Well.
Anything else? Anybody have other ideas?
When I get around other people and they start talking about what they do with their free time, I am a little embarrassed because I'm literally like, I got an Xbox One X and it's so cool.
And I have to play on it.
The only other thing I can think is that like every night at home, I work from home every night for this wonderful establishment that we have here. That's
your hobby.
I think it might be. I think it takes me about somewhere between 30 and 60 minutes to get ready for the next day.
Sure.
And I wonder if that's my hobby time because it's definitely my TV time because people have been asking me, hey, whatever. And I was like, yeah, I was going to watch a show. And then I remembered I wasn't ready for
work
the riot. So like I had to do a thing. So,
well, just keep the door open in case anything pops up in your life that you can turn into a hobby.
I don't have
But don't feel bad if nothing does.
But I feel a little bad. Like I wish I had a thing. I'm being completely serious. I wish I had a thing.
Try something with art. Jewelry making, sculpting, yarn work, sewing.
I don't want to do any of that.
Mosaics.
I don't want to do any
Paint by numbers.
I don't even want to color.
Nothing?
No.
You don't even color.
I don't want to color.
A sport.
I got a movie pass. That's coming this week.
Hello.
I'll go watch movies.
Now, if you vlogged or blogged about it or reviewed, then that suddenly becomes a hobby instead of just seeing movies.
Okay. Well, there you go. So talk more.
Leftovers from the most disgusting meal you've ever had. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Right now, Nikki, I'm looking at Rolling Stone's, what they say are the 10 worst movies of 2017. If you had to pick a worst movie of 2017, could you name one?
Well, that would be based on my interpretation of it, but
right.
I feel like we've skipped a lot of the really bad movies.
Yeah, but
so I don't know.
So do you feel like you had to watch them in order to say they're bad?
Yeah, everything else that I feel like we saw this year was pretty good. I wouldn't add it to a list of the worst movies.
Ooh, oh my gosh. We'll take a look at their list, and then I'm going to tell you at some point about what was the worst movie. Okay, the Emoji Movie they had there at number 10. Mm-hmm. Daddy's Home 2 came in at number 8. Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets. I still haven't watched that.
People said it was kind of bad.
I had a chance to see that for free, and I still skipped it. That came in at number 7. This is Rolling Stones. They say worst movies of 2017. The Mummy came in at number 5. I saw The Mummy. It was not terrible, but it was not good.
Yeah, so kind of in between.
I wouldn't recommend watching it, I don't think. 50 Shades Darker made number 3. Oh, The Dark Tower made number 2.
Was that the one with
Matthew McConaughey?
See, the trailer I thought looked interesting, but people said it was terrible.
Idris Elba. Part of the problem is you've got, a 7 or 8 book series that they've boiled down into what was a 90-minute movie.
They took a lot out. A lot.
Seems like they might have cut some things out.
Which normally you're praying for. Like in a movie, you're like, oh, please, just cut it down a bit. But for this, you actually wanted more.
They should have given it to Peter Jackson. It would have been
had like
25 movies.
Way more than that was many books.
On and on. I just loved the casting. I thought Idris Elba as the gunslinger was such an awesome choice. But all right, here's the number 1 worst movie of 2017, according to Rolling Stone. Transformers.
See, I think they still look good enough. It can't be the worst.
It's not the worst?
There's way worse. That's just because they're being snobby.
All right. I've got the worst. You want to know?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Came out on Netflix on Friday. El Camino Christmas.
Oh, you did watch it?
I did watch it.
How bad was it?
First off, it's not a comedy.
Oh,
the trailer
you
makes
maybe.
And I even said, I was like, this is not a comedy. It is a low rent, weird Christmas-ish movie that is about, I'm not even going to tell you what it's about. It's the worst.
It's that bad?
It had Tim Allen in it. It had
Jessica Alba,
and then a bunch of people who I can't name, but you will completely recognize, including the cellmate from Let's Go to Prison. That guy's in it. Like, it's all these people where you've seen them in a trailer or a TV show or something, and you're like, oh, that guy, yeah! It's the worst.
That one doesn't count, though. That wasn't in theaters.
I know, but I'm just telling you, don't believe the trailer. It is not a comedy. It's kind of a drama. It's poorly scripted.
Don't fall for it.
The tone makes no sense. It's a terrible movie. And the thing is I knew it was bad. I was 30 minutes in. I'm like, this is terrible. But I was like, I got to see what happens. I'm going to finish it. But it's the worst.
Let's take all of the most mind-numbing things the Riot has ever said and play them again.
It's a stupid idea, but I love it.
It's the Riot on Radio U. The Riot. Food Fight.
All right, Nikki, what do you got for me?
We have a delicious item from Charles in Mobile, Alabama. He was so kind enough, him and his family, to send us the Tabasco spicy chocolate.
I love the tin that it comes in. This is a collector's tin.
You could totally use that for something that fit in that small space. But
and it's got this little makeup applicator inside.
That's just the piece of paper. It's not a cushion. It's a piece of paper for the chocolate.
Oh, okay. Helps seal in the freshness.
Did you smell it yet? Does it smell spicy or just chocolatey? Does it?
To me, it just smells spicy or chocolatey.
Chocolatey, like a dark chocolate kind of.
Yeah. Smells good. I mean, do you like the way chocolate smells? Then you'll probably like the way Tabasco smells.
I guess I normally don't have Tabasco. We'll have like a sriracha or something, but not a Tabasco sauce.
Okay, so take a look at it.
I keep thinking it's tobacco. So it even comes in a tin.
Chaw.
Yeah, so it's like, what is this?
So if you are not, you can watch us now. We're live on Facebook, Radio U and Radio U Riot. They're on Facebook. It's cut up into 8 pieces.
Like a little pizza.
Little pieces of pie, but then it has 3 concentric circles, like the Illuminati is trying to draw us in to eat the candy.
I think that's just how that works in the circle tin.
Could be. It's
that's
fine.
it.
Do you think is it going to be hard all the way through, or?
Guess we'll find out.
It doesn't smell spicy at all.
Charles seems to like this stuff, so we'll take a little bite of the spicy Tabasco chocolate.
It is spicy.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I don't think I got a lot of spice in that bite.
Don't you feel it?
Did you put the, oh yes, now we do. That's like very peppery in the back of your mouth.
It's weird because I don't...
It's not hot, though.
No.
Like, I feel like it could build the more you have of it.
Well, I don't feel like I taste it. Mm-hmm. I'll put some more in.
It's just spice.
I taste the chocolate, and then all of a sudden my mouth hurts a little.
In the back. Like
That's not where it's getting me.
To me, it's right there.
Tongue, cheeks.
But what did we have not too long ago that was a spicy chocolate? Do you remember? And we liked it.
I do vaguely remember
there was
somebody
something
sending
we
us
had,
some cacao.
Because normally we don't lean towards having a Riot food fight with any spicy items, even though you're like, do the ghost pepper or do this sort of thing. But that's actually really good. It is a little spicy, but it's nothing unbearable.
I feel like a little sweat right here.
Yeah, it's nothing unbearable.
Right here. No, it's not. It adds an interesting element to the chocolate. The question that I would kind of have to ask myself is like, okay, people are like, I want a treat, but I don't want to eat too much. Do you think that...
you could not have too much of this.
Right. Well, wait. Do you mean that you wouldn't eat too much, or are you saying it's so good there's no way?
I don't think I would want to have too much of it because it just builds and builds. But this right now, we had a little piece of it, a little bite, and I have a nice little burn, but that's it.
Okay. Jason says we should try cayenne pepper hot chocolate.
Is that good?
He seems to think that it is.
Hot stuff with chocolate is more addictive than you think it'll be. I don't know if you just crave the spice with it, but at least for me, I find
you just need the rush to feel alive.
That's it. That's totally it. And I never think I need it until you have it and you're like, well, wait, that's actually really good.
Well, Nikki, I had one piece, which if I do the math here is only 35 calories.
Done. That's plenty. Spicy dark chocolate wedges. And the dark chocolate is nice with the Tabasco.
I think it's delicious.
Good.
I really like this.
Charles, thank you for sending that in. We never would have tried the spicy chocolate without you.
Probably not. Like, I am typically like
a mint?
Right there. I like a cool, refreshing mint.
Or a peanut butter, and that's what we tend to gravitate towards.
I think that I could see myself eating some more of this, unless I put it on the break room table, in which case the wolves will have it eaten before we even finish the show.
Well, thanks again to Charles in Alabama for helping with our Riot food fight today. The Tabasco spicy chocolates. They are dark chocolate wedges.
And they so good.
Very nice.
The worst of the Riot has no expiration date. It's born spoiled. It's the Riot on Radio U.
Nikki, are you ready to talk about the Christmas train?
I am, if you want.
You want to get in on this right now?
I want to be kind, because I feel like according to reviews, some people enjoy this. I did not, but I want to issue a warning. In case a family member of yours, like your mom's, like, you know what, we don't see each other often. Let's go on a Christmas train, like a Santa train.
Okay, all right. Santa train.
And I went to one. It was about an hour and a half away, so you have to drive to get to it.
Yeah.
It goes at 2:00, and we're there around 1.
Okay.
Wanted to grab lunch, though, before we get on the train.
Was there a place in the area that was suitable for lunch?
That'd be McDonald's. That was it.
Yeah.
And I could tell people were also going on the train because they were wearing, like, Christmas onesies, like grown-ups and stuff. So it seemed like everybody was trying to get in the Christmas spirit.
Okay. All right.
So I go through, we pick up, we come back.
I think they call those rompers, Nikki, for adults. It's a Christmas romper.
A romper's normally is shorts and stuff.
It's only shorts? So
I think so.
Okay, well, that's fine. Keep going.
So it's a one piece.
Yeah.
We'll say that. So the train leaves at 2, and I thought everybody would get on closer to 2, but they let you on like 40, 50 minutes early.
Uh-huh.
And everybody takes all the good seats. So we get on the train.
So you got the crap seats.
Okay, my attitude adjustment had to start early because we get on one train, like car ride.
Yeah, okay.
And this guy's saving like 15 seats.
Oh, dude.
And the rest are full, and you want to sit in this car. So we had to go to another one, which had not been renovated yet and did not have heat. And I didn't want to sit.
So
and
you
the
had
seats
to
were
ride?
sticky.
Oh, come on.
No. I told Eric, I'm like, I'm not doing this. You got to go back up to the other parts of the train and find something else. And he did.
Okay.
But man, when that guy said he was saving all of them, I go, yeah, we can't sit here. He's saving all these seats. I said that too loud to make sure.
Was it like when that guy in the airport wasn't using the plug but was planning on it and wouldn't let me plug in?
We have our moments with that, but I was fine. And then I didn't know how long this train would be. I thought an hour because they said, hey, use the bathrooms before you get on, because I heard an hour. I was wrong. It was 2 hours.
2 hours.
I've been on trains before.
But you know what? You were getting your money out of it. Like, that's good, right?
Yeah. I was on a train before, and it went fast, I felt like.
Yeah.
Now, this one, Eric opened up a miles per hour thing, and we were going 7 miles per hour.
Okay, all right.
And we had to go 7 miles down and then 7 miles back.
So not a circle. Straight line.
You go back down, they change the engine, they move it to the front, and you go back. I was like, okay, well, I thought for sure we'd get faster. I thought for sure.
The return trip will be quicker.
I drove that in 5 minutes. So the whole 2 hours I drove in 5 minutes.
Think of how, this is something I've experienced. A lot of times it's fun to go visit a new place and go walking or running because you see the world differently at a slow pace than you do at a fast pace.
I could have walked faster than the train was going. That's fine. You go and a Santa comes around, they pass out. They were supposed to be cookies and hot chocolate. There was not, which is fine because the heat was, I believe, on way too much in the room. We were all you're taking jackets off, you're dying. Kids are screaming for 2 hours. Screaming, the poor little kids. It was a lot. The view that I had the problem with the most, they said it was a scenic railroad.
Yeah.
We went through like 5 rock quarries.
Yeah, that's scenic.
It's not.
Those are scenes.
It's not. And we went through past one factory.
Look, kids, this is strip mining where we are able to pull from the land the things that make electricity.
We went through one part where it was a factory that makes pallets, like the wood pallets. So they're stacked up so you can't see anything. You just see stacks and stacks of pallets.
Look, kids, wood pallets.
And then when you get past it, you see stacks and stacks of logs of these dead trees. Like not wonderful like forest and stuff. You just see them all stacked up because that's what they're going to make the pallets out of.
Well, Nikki, a lot of people take those pallets and put them on walls to decorate their walls with. So in reality, that's a very scenic thing.
It was a lot. I had a really hard, I felt trapped on the train and I tried to have a good attitude, but everybody was mad because I don't think any of us knew how long this was. I told Obi, I talked to the person in our car, like the worker.
Yeah.
And on our way back when they were changing the engine, I said, do we go any faster on the way back? And he looks at me like I'm crazy. Like, well, I guess a little. Like, why would I want to go faster? Because I wanted off the train.
Right. Okay, couple questions.
Yeah.
One, do you feel like it really was your claustrophobia kicking in or something?
No, because I don't have that. I just have a phobia of being on a train at 7 miles per hour.
So that's a phobia. That's a thing.
And I didn't know about that.
Other question.
Yes.
Next question. When you looked around, aside from the screaming kids, were the other adults also miserable?
Angry. The kids were crying. The adults were screaming and yelling at each other. There was a lot of eye rolling.
A lot of Christmas spirit.
Because they didn't do anything. You just sat there. The music kept cutting in and out like it was supposed to be caroling tunes. I don't know what I expected, but that was not it.
Do you remember to take your AirPods with you so you could just...
No, I did not.
Okay. Because that could have helped.
I know,
listen to a podcast or something.
I could have. I tried to have a good attitude. I did. It's about memories. Just like getting off the train.
Eric and I are building a life together.
Oh, yes. If I thought Uber or someone would have been there, I would have gotten off the train if they would have let me and then taken a ride back to my car.
Look, this is the scenic trip we're taking.
Well, and then we also went through...
The Uber took us 7 miles.
We also went through various areas where it might not be counted as picturesque. People's backyards. A lot of people had their dogs chained up and in these pins. No joke. No joke.
You guys are going slow enough to get a real good look.
When you see the video, there's piles of you-know-what.
You shot video?
Eric did. Oh, yeah. Because we were going slow enough.
We got to get that video.
We were going slow enough. I want you to see all of it. So I might not suggest if your family member's like, let's go on a Christmas train. Let's go. I want you to know how long it is. I want you to be prepared. Bring snacks. Bring whatever you need to make it work.
Better yet, download today's podcast.
And play it for
And play this part for them.
I'd be like, I'm not going. It's a trap.
It's a trap.
Don't get on the train.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
I only have one lip to kiss because the top one is disintegrated.